Hi, Jessie. It's
Hi, Miss
really
Rachel.
Miss Rachel. Yes, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I feel like I
Thank you.
kind of know you.
Oh, totally. You're a household name around here now.
That's
You are.
hilarious.
You are.
Well, it's like, you and I chatted so much on
We did.
Instagram, and you
And
sent me
which
so
was
many
so cool
beautiful
because
pictures.
you were
Yeah.
so accessible, which I loved. And so they were like, "Can
Oh,
you send
nice.
Miss Rachel the pictures?" I was like, "We'll see if she can
Yes.
see them." So yeah.
Absolutely. I loved them. I loved pictures. You sent me so many beautiful moments that you
Yeah.
captured with your
Right.
family. So, like,
Yes.
you and I are going to be Sukkot BFFs.
I know. And Hanukkah, because we're gonna get the Hanukkah one too. So
Oh, you're going to love it. Yeah.
yeah.
It's so fun. I'm actually working on that today, packing
Oh, great.
some of that stuff. So let me ask you this, Jessie, what made you purchase this box in the first place?
So I follow a sweet lady named Sarah Ruth.
Yes.
So I live in Georgia and she lives in Georgia, which when I
Yes.
started following her, I didn't even know that. And it was just so funny. I was like, oh, she lives near me. And I think she posted about it. And I was like, yes, that is brilliant. So good job, because it's a brilliant idea. And I was like, we're doing that. And I started looking it up, and it was so much more detailed than I expected it to be. Just clicking on it. And it was like an absolute yes after looking at everything. So
Oh, well,
yeah.
that's awesome. I'm happy to hear that because, like, you put things together and
Yeah.
you sometimes don't know how it's going to be received. But I
Right.
will tell you, I knew that this idea would be successful. And I don't say that arrogantly. I say that because it was straight from the Lord.
Yeah.
This whole links to Messiah and all these boxes, that was
Right.
his idea. I'm just executing his vision.
Yeah. You're doing a great job.
Well, thank you, Jessie. I
You're welcome.
appreciate the encouragement. So you got the Sukkot box. So how did your kiddos respond? Like, how did you present it to them, and how did it? Tell me
I
about that.
told them that it would be coming, and they weren't really sure what that meant. And
Right.
so it was the count, like how many days till it gets here. And I was like, well, I'll get a notification when it ships. And then it's like, okay, it's shipped. And then every day they're like going and trying to check to see if it was here. And one day I didn't even know it had arrived. And my 6-year-old went out on the porch and he's like holding it. He comes in, he's like, Mom, it's here.
It's here.
And so, but it was still like a few days before Sukkot. And I was like, well, you actually are going to wait. We're going to wait. And it was so hard for them to do that. And then of course we open it up and there's little packages inside the big package, which was so fun. And I said, actually, you're going to wait. The way we did it was every day they got to unwrap something else instead of unwrapping it all at one time. And so it's like, you get to open this on day one. And that's kind of how we started the whole process. But I mean, they just loved it. And I asked him this morning, I said, Finn, what did you think when you opened the box? And he just gave me a face. He was so excited. So
that's
yeah,
so
it
cute.
was like the anticipation of getting it. And then you have anticipation every day. So yeah.
Yes, exactly. He didn't have a word. He just had a facial expression.
He had a facial expression. Yeah.
That's really cute.
Very expressive.
Yes. So for your family, what was the most meaningful part of the Sukkot box just for your family?
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, when I was thinking about this, I was like, the fact that you could see the personal touch. And we had that handwritten note. It kind of like makes me want to cry right now, because it was like just a connection to somebody that I knew had gone before me and had walked this out. And I was able to I'm learning right alongside the kids.
Yes.
And so just to have that handwritten note from you and to see the personal attention on all of the items, it was just, I was connected to another believer. And that was really encouraging for me. It wasn't from this big box place and they just, are shipping them out. It was something that was very personal. And so I just felt connected to somebody else. So that was really great.
Yes, I understand.
That was really great for me. And then for the kids, I mean, the kids loved every activity, but when we made their sukkah out of the box, which was very creative how you did that. It's like, use the actual box. I was like, this is smart. But doing that, and they got to put their own personal touch on it. But I feel like kids concentrate so much better when they have something to focus on. Like you can have a conversation with them. And so their hands were busy and their minds were going and they were able to be creative. We got to have a deeper discussion because they weren't just getting up and running around and, being 1, 3, and 5-year-olds. So it was really neat for them to build this soon as to actually get to talk about it. About what that meant then, what that means now, what it means for our earthly bodies. So I feel like because they're so tactile and that's how the kids learn, they were able to connect things so much more because they were building something with their hands. So
yes. Yeah. I think I'm with you. Like, I think the hands-on activities are so much of a deeper engagement. Like you
Right.
described it perfectly. Their hands are busy and they're
Yeah.
putting the stickers on and the pom-poms
Yep.
and all the branches and whatever
Yep.
else you guys
Yeah.
collected as a family. And
Yes.
yet you're able to have this a meaningful conversation.
Right. And they
That
will,
makes
they
me so
remember it.
happy.
Yeah, they remember
They
it because
will remember.
they have an experience tied to it. That's what I love about the feast in general. But the box,
Yes.
it's like it's an experience in and of itself. And then they remember that. And then they get to remember God's truth with it. And they have this positive memory attached to it. So, yeah.
Yes. Oh, it makes me cry. It really makes me so happy. It blesses me to hear how your family experienced the box. It really does. So building the sukkah, that was a fun part. Any other parts of the box that y'all enjoyed?
Okay. So the playlist, I have to tell you, because I'm like, how we're trying to look up music. I don't really know what I'm looking for. And the fact that it came with a playlist, you could just scan a little QR code, was such a surprise to me, and such a happy surprise, because I knew that, oh, this is going to be music that relates to what we're talking about. I don't have to try to listen to the whole song and figure out, is this something that makes sense? So the playlist was wonderful because we love dancing and moving our bodies anyway. And so we built our own sukkah on our back porch, and we played that playlist. I mean, over
again
and over again. And again, it helps them remember because they're hearing it and it's music, and they just so enjoyed all of the songs. Yeah.
I love that. I'm going to tell, so I have a young woman who helps me, and her name is Ruth, and she puts together the playlists for the boxes, and she does an amazing job. She curates, she curates just the right songs, and she puts them in an order that tells the story.
Right.
And she mixes it up like with, happy, peppy songs and more softer. Anyway, I love how she does that. I can't wait to tell her that.
Yeah, please
how
do.
Your family enjoyed that.
We did.
Well, I'm so happy to meet you. I'm not going to keep you long, but I want to thank you so much for your time today and for purchasing the box. That means a lot to me, and means a lot to me.
We've got to get a subscription. That's where we're at. I'm just realizing,
get the subscription.
We need to do them.
Yes. Because if you do the subscription, like if you do the annual thing, you save money. I don't remember the numbers, but you do end up saving some money. And then you don't have to think about it. You just know it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. That's it. And I think that's something that I told you, maybe it was through Instagram, but just the fact that as a busy mom, I don't have the creativity or the time to do this. It's like, I would love to figure this out myself, but the fact that someone else has done it, it empowers me to be able to do that with my kids, when I would not have had the time to collect all of those items and think through all of that myself. But it's an experience I want to give them, but it just shows how different parts of the body can work together. And so the fact that you and Ruth worked together as a different part of the body to help bless our family and other families is just very encouraging, and we loved it.
I loved that you loved it. It makes me so happy. It makes it feel like I am doing exactly what the Lord wants me to do, and I'm just going to keep on going.
Right.
So thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.